Okay, so we're looking at day 3, Tour Striker Golf School. Obviously, we did a lot of work with the irons, worked a lot on the club face, and the hardest thing was getting it to behave with the driver. Now, let's look at, just to kind of run through day 1 before videos, we've changed your body look to the ball a ton. I mean, night and day, right? Really. And let's take a look here. And hard to see with a black Titleist club head, but that face was, way open, and as it comes, and we'll look at it down the line here in just a second. And it's way open, way late in the ball game, and then you hit a lot of pull fades, and you can see your body really, really, really struggling to swing left enough to keep your fade from going too far to the right. Okay. Now, we just hit some lovely draws. So we know when we hit some draws that the face to path relationship is pretty darn spot on. We're still working on your angle of attack. Okay, angle of attack is still just a hair negative, and we got to get that a little bit more positive. There's a different looking club face position at the top. Let's see if you can see the difference here. One, the swing's a lot shorter. Notice that? Yet the shoulders are turned about equally. You're a little bit more organized in your turn on the left. So the wrist conditions create the fact that rather than a shaft that goes to this depth on the right here to what parallel is, because everybody's in love with parallel. Well, it shouldn't be that way. It just is what it is. Now when we come back over to here and we watch this swing, how this face is got a better rate of closure into the golf ball. Impact position looks phenomenal. If we can just get this angle of attack, just to get this handle raising a little bit through some of the med ball work and that sensation of extension. So if we were throwing the med ball, we would feel a lot more up in this left leg, which will help get this handle to go up a bit. So our low point will create some ascent. So a lot of people think ascent is hanging back and flipping the club up, but it's not. Ascent is physically the entire club working in a direction upward. Okay. So this is shockingly better looking here. Let's go take you through impact. And just way more comfortable in the release. Not quite perfect yet, but I mean, that's what, when you're a 20 handicapper, what do you expect, right? Mm-hmm. You expect to just be doing as amazingly well as you're doing. So you're kind of jumping out of the way here, versus this is just so much more organized and peaceful. This shot drew, a couple yards, a little BB down the middle, and you were able to, replicate it, which was the key piece here. So down the line, let's take a look at this. We did a lot of work with your aim. We've got you feeling like your baseline. So here's your target line. Power pole off in the distance right there, right? Mm-hmm. We've got you feeling like your baseline is ever so slightly to the right. You can see where your toes are. We want to give you a little bit of rightward path because you need that in order to create some spin to draw the golf ball. We need to face close to that rightward path a little. Yet to hit a perfect draw, you want the face open to the target line, close to the path. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. So let's throw in your down the line with the driver here. And take a look. So our posture, we've got you stand a little bit taller to the ball. Obviously your feet are a little bit different. Your weight's a little bit more on your forward foot. Biggest thing is this club face position in the backswing. You can see how it's now on this side of the shaft opposed to majority of the club underneath the shaft, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about here versus here. So big face change, okay? And then in the transition, let's watch this club face. Okay, start to tip past. I mean, it could be just even a bit more. But really, really nice approach into whitey here. You know, inside out strike. You know, maybe just, that's pretty darn centered, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a ball that was peppered pretty nicely with a baby draw out there. Could have hit it a bit more on the center of the face, even the toe, you would have hit more of a draw. So let's watch this one here come down. And let's look at the face conditions. So the guy on the left, his club face is way more managed, isn't it? The guy on the right is way out of control here, has no chance. The guy on the left is wearing Tiger Woods red, and this is coming from the inside, striking it solidly. Guy on the right is kind of wiping across it, and that's why you can't swing hard enough left to start your ball left in order to keep your fade kind of on the center line, right? So big change as far as this club face being now. I mean, your club face is on the target line at this point. Here's the target line to our power pole, and you're 3 feet away from the ball, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a down across wipe. You're hitting down 5-6 degrees on TrackMan, 10-13 degrees left on TrackMan. Face open, 7-8 degrees to the path, and hitting weak fades. But you could find them, and you could play golf, but it just wasn't. It was a lot of work for that distance.
Definitely.
Right? So now you've got, there's a way more direct strike, A to B to the golf ball here. This doesn't look like the golf swing of a 20 handicap or 18 handicap. Okay, this looks like a very nice golf swing that you're just still refining that through swing on and letting some freedom go. Now, we are doing that little drill with the right thumb and the index finger, but that's to train. That's for you to realize that you do not need to guide the face with the right hand. Okay, I want the face managed more by understanding the left hand and the left wrist. And at impact here, it really can't get a whole lot better than this as far as the way your lever condition looks. Okay, so we took this thumb and index finger off the club. Do a little zoom in on you here. It's in slow-mo, so it's not quite. We took that off the club, and there's no squeezing whatsoever there, right? Mm-hmm. This is peaceful index finger, peaceful thumb, where we just took it off the club so that we couldn't try to direct the face with the right hand at all. Rather, we realized that what's going to help accelerate the club and help accelerate the swing triangle here is the fact that the right arm can act more like a piston against, a piston against the left arm. I don't want to feel like I accelerate the club head by throwing the right hand at it. See what I mean?
Yeah.
We're accelerating the left arm by the right elbow, just seeking to grow straight. And that straightening is what helps accelerate the left arm, in association with the body. And then there's just a way better release. And what we see now, which looks a lot better, is the camera can see the glove here underneath your right forearm as opposed to on top.